do our yoga practice, opening the heart, opening up our hips. So we'll get an opportunity to find movement in our entire spine. And we'll also get an opportunity to unlock any tension we might be holding in our upper back from sitting a little bit too much, or in the base of our spine for sitting a little bit too much. So all you need is a little bit of space and a little bit of time. I'm going to move into a simple cross leg, take my glasses off, and we can all begin. So once you find your simple cross leg, make sure that the ankles are underneath the knees, navel drawing to the spine. We'll lift our shoulders to our ears, roll them down our back. And we'll close our eyes as we turn our palms to face the sky. As we inhale, we'll fill our chest with air. And as we exhale, we'll draw breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling fully and pausing. Inhaling a little more. Exhaling fully and pausing. Exhaling just a little more. Begin to take breath at your own pace. Spending more time in your inhale if you're caring for your upper back, or more on your exhale if you're caring for your lower. Finding the breath pattern that helps you unlock at this moment. While your breath is traveling, focus on your posture, aiming shoulders to opposite walls, keeping the chin parallel to the ground, and allowing the crown of the head to float to the sky. 3 more breath cycles wherever you happen to be. 2, 1. Let's keep our eyes closed. We'll transition our hands to our shins, allowing our knuckles to face forward, but our eyes stay closed. Inhaling into our seated cow sternum, reaching forward. Exhaling into our cat, tucking our chin, tucking our tail. Inhaling into our cow, holding an imaginary quarter between our shoulder blades. Exhaling into our cat, creating space between each vertebra. Taking 3 to 5 more cat and cows, moving at the pace that's right for you. Exaggerating the movement as you need. And once you've completed your 3 to 5 cat and cows, return back to the simple cross leg with eyes closed, spine stacked, palms facing the sky. With our next inhale, we'll gently open our eyes and gaze forward. We'll notice which leg we crossed in front. We'll bring our hands to connect, and we'll interlace the corresponding finger closest to our body. Inhale, we draw our navel to our spine. We'll extend our arms forward, lifting up. With an exhale, we'll release our shoulders down our back. Inhale, we'll slide our chin to the right like we're back out of our parking spot. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we slide our chin to the left. Exhale to center. Inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward. Gently undoing the interlace, extending our arms out, finding the muscular resistance, pausing at parallel. We'll draw our right hand behind us, hook our left arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space between our vertebrae. Exhale, turning our belly, heart, and gaze. Inhale, lengthening in our twist. Exhale, using that left hand as a hinge, bringing out our belly, deepening our twist. With our next inhale, we'll uncoil. Let's return back to center. We'll take our hands shoulder distance apart in front of us. or behind us, aiming our fingers forward. Inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine. We'll bend our elbows back. Exhale, we'll spread effort between our 10 fingers. Our sternum lifts high. Our shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. We lift our chest. We hold that imaginary quarter between our shoulder blades. But if we want more from the lower body, we'll lift our pelvis, slide our knees forward, open up the hip flexor, the leg that's crossed in front. With an exhale, we return back to our simple cross leg. Then we'll gently walk our hands forward, shimming our fingers towards the wall in front of us, making sure our feet are still resting underneath our knees. Let's only go as far as our glutes don't lift from the ground, but our back doesn't round. At that last moment, right before we feel like our back is going to round, we'll press our fingertips into the ground. We'll allow a magnet to draw our sternum forward, shoulders aiming to our hips, and then we'll close our eyes. We'll sweep our hands back and interlace the same finger at our sacrum. Inhale, our hands draw away from our body to the ceiling, towards the wall in front of us. Interlaced, palms together, holding onto elbows for less. You decide. Smiling in the direction of the floor, eyes closed for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. With an exhale, we'll release our hands back to our sacrum and do the interlaced palms atop our thighs. Inhale, we'll gently restack our spine. We'll lift up our knees and we'll crisscross our legs in the other direction, inching our feet more underneath our knees than not. Our shoulders are rolling to our ears and down our back. We bring our palms to connect, and we interlace the other finger by our body. With an inhale, we draw our navel to our spine. We extend our arms forward, lifting up. And with an exhale, we release our shoulders down our back. Imagine we had a little sandbag in our thighs, so our knees aim forward rather than float to the sky. Inhale, we slide our chin to the left. Perhaps your furry friend is joining you as well. Back to center. Inhale, we slide our chin to the right. Exhale, back to center. With an inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward, gently undoing the interlace. Imagine my palms press against yours. We'll find that muscular resistance, pausing at parallel. We'll draw our left hand behind us, hook our right arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, turning our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Inhale, let's lengthen, create space between our vertebrae. Exhale, we'll use that right hand as a hinge, bringing out our belly, deepening our twist. Inhaling and coiling, returning back to center. We'll take our hands back behind us, aiming our fingers forward, arms about shoulder distance apart. Inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine, bend our elbows back. Exhale, we'll spread effort between our 10 fingers, sternum lifts high, shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Stay here, focusing on the chest expansion, or lift the pelvis. Sliding our knees forward, opening up the hip flexor, the leg that's crossed in front. With an exhale, we'll release ourselves back into our simple cross leg, restacking our spine. Then walking our hands forward. If our feet move, we'll inch our feet to rest more underneath our knees than not. And once our spine is elongated, we'll pause. We'll press our fingertips to the ground. A magnet draws our sternum forward. And we sweep our hands back, interlacing that second finger by our body. Inhale, we'll extend our hands away from our body to the ceiling, towards the wall in front. Eyes open or closed, shoulders aim to our hips, navel draws to our spine. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. With an exhale, we'll meet with our hands on our sacrum and do the interlaced palms atop our thighs. Inhale, we'll gently restack our spine. We'll lift up our knees. We'll roll onto one hip or another, no preference. And let's find our way to all fours. On all fours, we turn the inner aspects of our elbows towards one another so our arms aren't hyperextended. Inhale, we'll round our back into our cat. We'll curl our toes and we'll find our first down dog high on our tippy toes. With an inhale, we'll bend one knee, lower the opposite heel. Exhale, vice versa. Pedaling out our feet. Stretching our calves and our Achilles with a conservative knee bend. Or taking a little bit more adventurous knee bend to get into that lower back. Customizing your practice. 3 more breaths. 2. Last one. Inhaling high on our tippy toes. Exhale, simultaneously lowering our heels towards the ground. We'll draw our thighs to the wall behind us, lift our shoulders to our hips, turn our armpits towards our yogi mat neighbors as we gaze to our navel and nod yes and no. Let's allow our head to be passive. And we'll begin to walk our hands back to our feet, softening our knees as much as our hamstrings would let. When we arrive at the back of our mat, we'll take a deep knee bend, placing our first two fingers and thumbs around our big toes. Inhale, we'll extend our torso parallel to the floor. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs, lifting our shoulders to our hips, nodding yes and no. Allow our head to be passive, lengthening our legs as much as our hamstrings would like. We'll take a deep bend in our knees, hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We'll bring ourselves to upright. Inhale, lifting our arms high. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift, hands anywhere but our knees. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. Carefully lowering to our bellies, letting the fronts of our feet touch. Inhaling into our cobra, shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Hands on the ground for flexibility, or hovering for strength. Gazing at the floor in front of us, holding that quarter between our shoulder blades for 2 more breaths. 1. Hands down if they're up. We'll curl our toes, press their heels in a chaturanga, and inhale into our downward facing dog. From our down dog, we'll walk footprint by footprint towards the front of our mats, softening our knees as our hamstrings wish. When we arrive at the front of our mat, we'll find a chair, navel draws in, tailbone descends, hands extend 3/4 up the wall in front of us. With an inhale, we bring our hands to prayer. At our heart, we expand our chest. Exhale, let's hook our left arm to the outside of our right leg. Try to keep our knees in alignment and left hip in alignment with our left knee. Inhale, the crown of our head extends. With an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands of prayer, fly or half bind. An anchor drawing our sacrum to the ground. Trying to think of a diagonal line from shoulder to hip. 2 more breaths. 1. With an exhale, we meet with our hands at prayer. We gaze to our feet. Let's transition weight off of our left foot. Inhale, we'll stride back with our left leg, right knee and ankle in alignment. Left knee up or down, yogi choice. Inhale, the crown of our head extends. With an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands at prayer, fly or bind. Finding where our body would like to be. 3 more breaths wherever we are. 2. 1. Exhale, let's meet with our hands under our shoulders. Left knee surrenders to the ground if it's not already there. Let's keep our chest close to our right thigh. Inhale, we'll walk our fingers back. Trying to keep our chest very close to our thighs, stretching our hamstring. Inhale, walking our hands back, creating that simple lunge, knee over ankle. Take 3 more with the right knee bent, left knee on the ground, or extend that left leg. Rounding our back, straightening our leg, lifting up our right toes for a little more space. Exhale into our lunge, shoulders lengthen to our hips. 2 more, rounding our back like cat, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge, shoulders lengthen to our hips. 1 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. Let's step our left foot forward to join our right. We'll find our chair, navel draws in, tailbone descends, hands extend 3/4 up the wall in front of us. Inhale, we'll bring our palms to connect at our heart, feeling our chest. Exhale, we'll hook our right arm to the outside of our leg, keep our knees in alignment. Inhale, the crown of our head extends, and with an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands at prayer, fly or half bind. An anchor, aiming bringing our sacrum to the ground, revolving our heart to the side wall. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Exhale, hands to prayer. We'll gaze to our foot, taking weight off of our right, striding back with our right on an inhale. Right knee up or down. With an inhale, the crown of our head extends forward. With an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands at prayer, fly or bind. Deciding where you'd like to be. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Exhale, meeting with our hands under our shoulders, right knee surrendering to the ground, chest and our thigh. Inhale, we'll walk our fingers back, chest close to our thighs, lifting our left toes for more space. Try to make sure that we're not taking a little bit more weight into one hip or the other. Inhale, finding our way back into our simple lunge. Knee on the ground or knee up 3 more times, yogi choice. Inhale, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin, shoulders aiming to our hips. Exhaling into our lunge. 2 more. Rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. 1 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. We'll soften our right knee, step forward to join our left. Inhale, we'll bring ourselves to upright. Exhale, mini back bend, elbows wide, heart lifts, gift card between our legs. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend, protects our back as we exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and let's stride back with our left leg, keeping right knee over ankle. With our left leg back, let's make a little change, sliding our foot just far enough back so that we're heel and toe in alignment rather than our heel aiming close to the floor. Left palm or fist under our shoulder. Inhale, the right hand slides past our shoulders to the sky. We lengthen our torso with an inhale. Exhale, we rotate our left rib to our right thigh. We can keep the left knee up or down, yogi choice. Inhale, our arms find the length of our mat. Exhale, the right hand descends, the left arm lifts. We're strong from our waist down, finding flexibility from our waist up. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, back to center, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, hands down under our shoulders. We'll soften our left knee, step the left foot behind our right, so our little toes are much closer than they were. Inhale, we'll elongate, lifting and lowering our toes for even weight distribution. Exhale, bending our elbows, surrendering the crown of our head to the ground. Inhale, let's shimmy our fingers to the right, stretching that left IT band. Inhale through centering to the left, stretching through that right IT band. Inhale, we'll find our way back to center on pretzel our legs. Hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We bring ourselves to upright. Inhale, lifting our arms high. Exhale, mini back bend, elbows wide, heart lifts, gift card between our legs. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend, protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes. We'll stride back with our right leg. And as we stride back with our right leg, just as we did on the left, position that foot so we're heel over toe rather than heel trying to aim to the floor. Right palm or fist under our shoulder with an inhale. The left hand slides past our knee, past our shoulder to the sky. Inhale, we elongate our torso. Exhale, we rotate, holding that beach ball between our rib and our thigh. Inhale, arms to parallel. Exhale, left hand descends, right arm lifts, just like on the first side. Right knee up or down, yogi choice. 3 more breaths, reach into the sky with the upper body. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, goalpost arms, hold a quarter between our shoulders. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, hands under our shoulders. We'll soften our right knee. Step the right foot behind our left, so our little toes are much closer than they were. With an inhale, we lift and lower our toes. We extend our torso. Exhale, bend our elbows, surrender the crown of our head down. Inhale, we'll shimmy our fingers to the left, stretching our right IT band. Inhale through center and to the right, stretching that left IT band. Inhale back to center. We'll uncross our legs, hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We bring ourselves to upright. Inhale, lifting our arms high, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and let's stride back with our left leg, pivot up 45 degrees, heel to heel. Prepare for warrior one. Hands to prayer by our right big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we lengthen our vertebrae, shoulders lift to our ears and roll down our back. Warrior one, arm shoulder width, interlace or cactus. Let's gaze at ourselves. Find an imaginary spot on the wall in front. Then we'll follow that line on the wall to the ceiling, into a back bend. Hot air balloon lifts our heart, shoulders draw down and in. We'll lift and lower our toes, anchoring our feet. One more breath. Inhale, traditional warrior one arms. Exhale, let's open our left hip, warrior two. Inhale, our right arm extends forward, form atop our thigh. Left arm lifts high to the sky. We'll take a gentle extension of our right arm, lengthening fingertip to fingertip. The effort of our right arm against our leg opens that hip. 2 more breaths. Broadening our wingspan for 1. Exhale, right palm or fist at the arch of our foot. We gaze to our left hand. Inhale, let's watch our left hand reach to our ankle. Exhale, we circle in space. 3 more rotations. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Last one. With an inhale, that left arm reaches high. Exhale, we cartwheel down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog, we'll look to our hands. We'll soften our knees. We'll step our left foot forward into our lunge prayer with the right at 45, heel to heel. Hands to prayer by our left big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we float up. Shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Arm shoulder width, interlace or cactus. Inhale, we look to that spot in front of us. Follow that line. Eventually looking above. Imagining our thighs holding on to a yoga block between them. An anchor aiming our sacrum to the ground. The hot air balloon lifting our heart to the sky. 2 more breaths in our warrior one. 1. Inhale, traditional arms. Exhale, we'll open our right hip. Warrior 2. Inhale, our left arm extends forward. Eventually, our forearm rests on our thigh. Our right arm reaches high to the sky. Then we take a gentle extension of our left arm. Broadening from fingertip to fingertip. Opening our left hip. 3 more breaths. 2. 1. Exhale, left palm or fist on the floor by the arch of our foot, gazing to our right hand. Inhale, we watch our right hand reach to our ankle. Exhale, we circle in space. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, our right arm reaches high. Exhale, we cartwheel down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, we can stay here with our big toes touching. Or lift our right leg high. Maybe come up on the ball of our left foot. Perhaps with an exhale, our right knee taps our elbow, or we find a hurdle balancing on our triceps for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right leg high. Let's look to our hands. Let's step our right foot wider than our hand. Surrender our left knee to the ground. We're going to take our runner's lunge. So right now, if our hip is open, we'll bring our forearms to the ground. If we want to create more space in our hip, we walk our foot a little wider, inch our toes a little bit more forward. We pivot into the little toe side of our foot before we surrender our forearms to the ground. There's no specific amount that we need to open that right hip. We just move a little bit and we inch, as I mentioned. We can always come back to add more intensity. We can always curl the left toes, elevate the knee to bring in more intensity. Let's aim our shoulders to our hips and close our eyes so that we're not adding any strain to our upper body as we're trying to unlock that right hip. 3 more breaths, long, even yogi breaths, mean we're in the right place. Short staccato breaths are the body's way of saying, let's ease back. 1 more breath wherever we are. Let's meet with our hands under our shoulders, eyes open. Heel to toe, walk that right foot back into our simple lunge. We can gently curl our left toes, step back into our plank. Rest in down dog or hover, exhale chaturanga. Inhale up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog with our big toes connected. Stay here. Or lift our left leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our right foot. Perhaps with an exhale, we let our left knee tap our elbow, or we find a hurdle balancing on our triceps, finding strength for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to down dog or 3-limb down dog. Let's step our left foot wider than our hand. Surrender the right knee to the ground. Immediately find our forearms or create more space, walking our foot a little wider, inch a little more forward, pivot onto the little toe side of our foot. And we'll find the runner's lunge that's right for us, eyes closed. Shoulders aiming to our hips, navel drawing to our spine. Trying to get past the short staccato breaths into our long, even yogi breaths. 4 more breath cycles wherever our body's taking us. 2, 1. Let's meet with our hands under our shoulders, eyes open, heel to toe, bring that left foot back into a simple lunge. We'll curl our right toes, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes, joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, let's aim our right heel for the wall behind us. Try to keep our thigh parallel. We'll walk our hands back till they rest under our shoulders. Preparing for warrior 3 balance, we'll soften that left knee, let our hands rest under the thigh for strength. We can have our hands on our hips to keep us honest, hips and shoulders square to the mat. Maybe hands at prayer, airplane, or right finger interlaced for a little bit more of a chest expansion. You decide where you'd like to be, a ruler-like spine, from tailbone through the crown of our head. Gazing under our heart for 2 more breaths. 1. With an exhale, let's meet with our hands and our hips. We'll impersonate a flamingo, softening our left knee, tuck our right knee into joint, and we'll bring ourselves to upright. Externally rotating that right hip, prepare for tree, tiptoe the floor, foot to the calf or inner aspect of our thigh. Just avoiding any sideways pressure with our knee. Thumbs to our sacrum, crown of our head floats to the sky. Hands in the lower back for strength, hands at prayer perhaps. Maybe our tree limbs grow. Maybe our arms rest shoulder width or cactus. Perhaps we find a better chest expansion for our body, holding our elbows behind our back. Or reverse anchoring or reverse prayer behind our sternum. Finding where our body would like to be, the greatest challenge would be closing our eyes. 4 more breaths wherever our tree is taking us. 3, 2, 1. Open. Crown of our heads to abs open. We'll all soften our knees. We'll walk ourselves out into our plank. Rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friend, look to our hands. We'll slide feet, pausing when our fingertips run along the base of our right hand. Let's come up onto our tippy toes. Take a deep bend in our knees. We'll take the right arm to the outside of our left leg. Inhale, we fill our chest. With an exhale, we begin to straighten our left leg, rotating our heart towards the side. The right knee stays deeply bent, arm and knee perhaps in contact. Stretching through that left side body for 2 more breaths. No strain in our neck, eyes open or closed. 1. Exhale, deep bend in our knees. Right hand replaces our left. Left arm to the outside of our right leg, anywhere but our knee. Inhale, we fill our chest. Exhale, we begin to rotate. Straightening the right leg as much as it wishes, keeping that deep bend in our left knee. Eyes open or closed, no strain in our neck for 2 more breaths. Stepping forward to join our hands. Chest close to our thighs, elbows behind our knees, wrists behind our ankles, our fingers under our heel. Wind blend. Shoulder blades are exhale. Releases. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, lifting our arms high, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bent, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, face high. Exhale, deep knee bend. Exhale, back is inhale. Inhale, your 2 palms up. Externally rotating our thighs. So we're unlocking the big. 2 more breaths. Inhaling into our warrior lock. Let's look at that nose are big. Curling our toes. From our down dog, we look to our hands with soft hands. We can exhale the floor for core stretches. We can rest in down dog. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. And down dog. Take this towards the front of our mats. And roll into one hip or another. And we'll scooch more towards the front of our mats when we do on Shavasana. Let's let our tippy toes towards our mat. Not your shoulders. Taking us. Inhale. Our head forward. Eyes open, closed, yogi choice. 2, 1. We'll gently keep our book open. We're not quite done with it. Just like the more thing. And then one at a time, extend our left foot. Let's give ourselves a hug. Let the feet above our knees. Side to side, eventually resting on our right hand side in supported position. Opening and shutting our eyes, preparing ourselves for the rest of our day. Press our left hand into the floor and then our right, making sure our head's the last thing that comes up. So don't get dizzy. We'll find a simple cross-leg, lotus, half lotus, or virasana hero's pose. Our shoulders will roll to our ears and down our back. We'll close our eyes as we turn our palms to face the sky. There's a golf ball on our left shoulder with an inhale. Our left ear will lift up and over. And our right fingers will come with a feather-like touch. Breathing and swallowing. Lengthening and opening. Inhale, gently. Our right hand is some sparkles in the right shoulder. The right ear will lift up and over, left fingers with a feather-like touch. Breathing and swallowing. Lengthening and opening. Inhale, bring our chin back to the left hand to sides. We'll lift our shoulders for ears, roll them down our back, and as our shoulders extend to the wide edges of our mat, chin is heavy, pull into our chest, lay back, our neck. Bring our hands together and namaste. And thank you for joining me in my home today. And until we meet next time, have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay active.